Good day, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Flex. I'm your host for today, Philip Joseph, and in this week's episode, we got the chance to sit down with hockey player Nangula Inyemba. She has insight on her hockey career, as well as futsal members, which is now the futsal national team player Ken Saleto, as well as his manager Absai Simon. Taking us through their preparations ahead of the Futsal African Cup of Nations that will be taking place in 2 weeks' time in Morocco. So you guys just make sure you stay rooted to your seat and make sure not to go anywhere.
Welcome to Active Kids, a daily TV show that sparks creativity, learning, and fun for young minds. With exciting activities and lessons, Active Kids inspires curiosity and a love for learning.
New face to the 15.
The perfect mix of play and education. Don't miss out on the fun. Tune into Active Kids on NTV every weekday at 10 o'clock and let the adventure begin.
Studio with me, I'm joined by a very special guest, the hockey player Nangula Inyemba. Welcome, Nangula. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so tell us how you're feeling today.
Nervous, excited, exuberant.
Okay, just to jump into your hockey career, you mentioned that you've partaked in hockey since 5th grade. Can you just tell us as to why you decided to take this journey of hockey instead of other sports?
To be honest, I just didn't like the fact that a lot of people were doing the same sport. So I wanted to do something different, which is why I chose hockey out of all the sports. And because it was the only sport that was introduced to me first, that's the sport I went with. Yeah.
And I see you're also part of the team that took part in the AFCON 2020, was it 2022 or 2023?
2023.
2023. Can you just take us through how it felt, being called up to the national team, making the final selection, and also, representing your country at such a high level?
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't expect it. Because when we had training, all the other girls were obviously, they were used to it because most of them were already national teams. So I was like, I know I'm not going to make the team.
Yeah.
I was just there because of experience purposes. So when I found out, or when my manager called and told me that I made the team, I was very excited. I was a little bit in disbelief because I was like, is it really me or is it not me? But yeah, I was also very grateful when I heard it because it's very rare to get opportunities like that, especially if you're colored. Because a lot of times you see a lot of hockey teams, just majority of everyone is just white. So it was also very nice to be one of the colored people in the team. So yeah.
Speaking of that, how did you compare those competitions to our domestic leagues?
I feel like the one thing is the speed. The speed it's faster because a lot of them, like I said, are national team players, so they play at a higher speed compared to any club hockey here, especially if you're in Premier Reserve. It's a bit slower than Premier League. So yeah, I think the speed and I think that's all that's a bit different.
And you mentioned the Premier League, so are you competing in the Premier League at the moment for any specific club?
No, I'm only competing in Premier Reserve this year. We competed last year, but then our coach decided to put us down a little bit so that we can learn a bit because we did bad last year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so.
I mean, obviously you've competed at a very high level, so do you think that you can maintain or just compete in the Premier League as well?
I think so, but it's very difficult. It does a lot to your mental health because you start questioning yourself because you're around a lot of talented people. So if you're slower than everyone, if you don't catch the drills faster, you start to feel a bit, scared and you want to give up. So I think I'm fine where I am now. I'm not complaining. I'm happy with the Premier Reserve because we're winning more games anyway. So
so that's building confidence. So you're looking at 2-3 years for you to get to that level?
No, I'll probably start next year.
Okay, because obviously as athletes, sometimes when you feel like you cannot compete at the same level or as other athletes, it's always important to put in the hard work and everything else. But yeah, we'll catch you right after the break, guys. good day, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Flex. I'm your host for today, Philip S. Joseph, and today in studio I'm joined by futsal player, Namibian futsal player, for that matter, Ken Solote, and team manager of the football national team, Mr. Absai Simon. So obviously start with you, Ken. Just take us through your futsal career. Just tell us when you started, what got you into futsal.
Thank you so much. My name is Ken, as you said, and I play for Quality Futsal Club, and as well I'm representing the country for the national team. And my journey in futsal started basically, say, ever since I was a kid. First of all, we used to play futsal, you understand? But at that time, futsal wasn't recognized in the country, so we just used to play like in the streets for fun and all these things. So that forced me now to start playing 11-a-side, where I started playing at school league. Yeah, I played for Sunshine Primary School. And then when I went to high school, I did not play school league. I played for Destiny Football Club.
Yeah.
And then to one of these good days, one of my teammates, Eduardo Solunga, he called me up to go help his team, which are my current team now, Quality, to go play futsal. So I went to help the team, and when I got there, I fell in love again with futsal. And I was like, nah, I think I need to come back. So from there, he introduced me again to futsal, and as well, futsal was introduced to the country. So that's when I joined back futsal.
So we have to give a big shout out to Edward.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of 11-a-side football, just tell us which position do you play?
Futsal, I play pivot. Pivot in 11-a-side is basically a striker.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because obviously the two, like both futsal and football are quite different in terms of the intensity, the physicality, and all of that. Just take us through the differences you have felt between the two sports.
Okay, I didn't feel much of a difference, but the main ones is that futsal is more of a rapid game. You're always up and down. As a pivot, which is a striker at the 11th side, you can also defend. And futsal is also rolling subs. You can make as many subs as you want, but at the 11th side you have a certain limit for the subs.
Because I've seen you guys have been putting in quite a lot of work, especially with the national team. But just comparing that to football itself, if you have to look at now, gaining fitness levels and whatsoever, which one is more difficult or challenging? Because obviously football, it's a bigger field. You have to cover more distances and all of that. And whereas you have futsal, where it's a smaller field, but then, as you said, it's a constant flow. There's no resting. So just tell us in terms of now reaching your peak fitness, how long does it take for one to get there, and is it challenging?
Speaking about fitness, I would say it actually depends on the player. You understand? Because there are some players who just need a week to get fit, and some need more time. You understand? So, but in futsal, it's obviously you have to be more fit. It's more harder. Even the training, like the fitness training, is way, way, way harder than 11-a-side. So I'll say in futsal you have to be here at the top.
Exactly.
Fitness, yeah.
There's one thing that I'm quite curious about. Going back to the game against Tanzania, the first leg game, just take us through what happened, because obviously it seemed like you guys were playing with a lot of nerves. I mean, the fact that this was your first game, and this game meant that if you were to win, you would have qualified for the futsal, which you guys did. But just take us through as to what happened, what caused you guys, to lose the game against Tanzania, especially in our home ground. For matter of fact, the field was quite packed. I mean, most people didn't expect those numbers, but then obviously everyone came out in numbers, came to support you guys. But just take us through as to what happened.
So as you say, the field was quite packed. I'll say that was the main reason. First of all, it was our first international game. Yes. Of course, some players were nervous. And of course, there was a lot of people. The field was packed, so some of the boys were nervous. And also, I'll say Tanzania, they took their chances. We had our chances, but we didn't take our chances. Yes. That also cost us. But I'll say the main reason why we lost the game, it was because we were nervous. I'm saying it's our first time playing international game, and the field was crazy.
Okay, guys. Hope you guys stay fastened to your seat. Catch us right after the break.
We are so excited to be kickstarting your morning with the entertainment.
Everything was happening during this past weekend.
Yes.
Exciting news.
Wow, no, she was killing it already.
In my opinion, I don't see anything wrong with him serving the full term.
As well as keeping you informed on the issues that you need to know happening in and around our country.
Welcome back, guys. We're still here in studio with Ken and Mr. Absai Simon on my far right. So just to go back on the question I asked you previously, going into the second leg, did you guys lose any hope? In terms of the fact you guys lost, was it 5-3? So obviously now it's an aggregate score. Do you guys still believe that you're gonna come back with 2 or more goals? I mean, you were obviously on form. You scored a hat-trick?
Yeah, hat-trick.
Yeah. So just take us through as to how you guys felt after the loss.
I would say the loss here at home, it was necessary because that worked us up and it didn't affect us in any way.
Yeah.
That loss actually motivated us more, and when we go there to Tanzania, the boys were hungry, the spirit was there, and we just did our job. Yeah.
Okay, that's good to hear. The next question is for you, Absai. Obviously, there's a lot of work that comes in terms of admin whatsoever, for a manager especially. Can you just take us through all the work and the preparation that has been going on behind the scenes for the futsal team?
I'd like, first of all, thanks for having us here in your studios. Yeah, it's been a hectic roller coaster for us. It's our second international project, and would like to actually shout out and thank the NFA for having our back, as they are our mother.
Yeah,
we are falling under them, and they've been guiding us throughout the preparations. And so far, all the preparations are done. We are ready to fly out. I think we'll be ready flying out on Friday next week, on the 5th, if I'm not wrong, so that we prepare for 2 or 3 friendlies in Morocco.
Oh, and these friendlies will be played against which countries exactly?
Countries not confirmed, but it will be local friendlies, which will be a Morocco Premier League teams.
Oh, Morocco Premier
yes,
League,
because
okay.
most of the countries, it's also a bit challenging when it comes to friendlies, because it's costly. Number one, it's very costly. We need to travel to, because we had one lined up with Mozambique. We had to travel to Mozambique, and we figured it out. It's too costly for the nation and for futsal. So we planned all our friendlies to be in Rabat.
Yeah. Usually this question is always for the coach.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to ask, based off what you've seen, how is the mood looking like in camp? How is the intensity within the team? Because you guys are currently 16, and I'm aware that one player still has to be dropped. Two actually. So only 14 players are going.
Yes.
So just tell us, how are the guys looking? How confident are they? Confident they are in terms of now, the style of play, their maturity, their confidence. Just them complementing one another.
So we had the same. We had actually the same team that went to Tanzania. I think it was 4 additionals, if I'm not wrong, and we're dropping 2 this week, or is next week. I'm not so sure because I'm not the coach, but it depends on injuries also. That's why we have 16 players in camp. If any of the players go on injury, then we have to substitute them with the guy that's there. Going further, the spirits are high. The new boys that just came in, the spirits are also very high. I know Zidane has been there. Zidane wants to go and become the real Zidane.
In futsal now, yeah.
He'll be the Zidane of futsal.
Yeah.
And I know us going to Morocco, we're not just going to participate. We're really going to challenge them. Going to be underdogs, but yeah, underdogs can also fly.
Yes. This one is for you, Ken. I've seen you guys have brought Garen Smith to your team. He's a sports scientist, and obviously, many people know him for his professionalism and just the different aspects he brings to the game of football itself. So, just tell us how has that been with him, you know. And I know obviously you guys also have to do ice bath. And I won't lie, for me myself when I was an athlete, this morning
yeah,
already,
we did ice bath this morning.
Ice bath was one thing I didn't like. But just in terms of recovery, the preparation, just tell us how everything is going. How is everything looking like in camp? Are you guys gelling well? Are you guys feeling confident? Do you guys feel like you're going to get a good result there in Morocco?
Most definitely. At camp, the boys, the spirit is there. The maturity, it's something I wasn't expecting from the boys. You know, because we come from different backgrounds. Yeah. It's always that misunderstanding, but the spirit is there, maturity is there. We are all connected, you know. And at training, we are basically right now we are more focused on fitness since futsal. Sorry, it's a rapid game, you know. So Coach Karen is also there, is helping us a lot with his techniques and stuff. But it's really going well there at training.
So do you guys also focus a lot on finishing drills?
Yes, we do. We do focus on finishing drills.
For finishing drills, is that also like included? Does that also include all the players?
Yes, because futsal, as I said, it's a game where even the pivot, the striker, can go defend, and then the fix, which is now the defender, he can also score. So everyone has to practice shooting drills, including the goalkeepers.
Yeah. I just wanted to say that as well because I've seen a few goalkeepers back up quality goals.
They call them fly goalies.
Yeah, fly goalies. Yeah, because I believe your touches have to be like exceptional because the ball moves really quickly. Because I've seen you're quite skillful yourself. I mean, most players in futsal are quite skillful, but then you find those players with like crazy skills. So just out of 10, how much would you rate your skills?
Out of 10, I'll give myself a 10.
A 10? So basically you feel like you're the best at dribbling the team?
According to me, I'll say yes, I'm the best player. I don't know what other guys will say, but according to me, I'm the best.
Well, guys, you heard that from Ken. He regards himself as the best dribbler in the team. So make sure you guys stay seated to your seat, and we'll catch you right after the break.
Welcome to My.NA Cars, your ultimate destination for everything automotive.
I am your host, Diana Master.
Teamwork makes the dream work, right?
Discover the latest models, innovative technologies, and expert insights from our passionate hosts. Learn essential maintenance tips and get exclusive behind-the-scenes access to the automotive industry. Don't miss My.NA Cars on NTV every Thursday at 2100 hours. Tune in and ignite your passion for automobiles.
Guys, it's good to see you guys are still there. You know, we're still in studio with Ken and Absai. So Absai, I just wanted to ask now, in going forward, you know, what is it going to be? Like, I know this question maybe can be answered by some of the officials within the NFA, but what's it going to look like for players who want to then switch from football to futsal permanently, or those who want to go in between? It's going to be a thing of where players will be going from futsal to football and football back to futsal, or is it going to be a thing of, okay, if you go from football to futsal, it's done?
So with FIFA on board and the NFA on board, the rule still sits that a player can play both.
Okay.
But that depends on club. Say, for instance, your club is Absai 11.
Yeah.
And Absai 11 doesn't want you to go play, and your contract states that you cannot play futsal.
Yeah.
So you can't play futsal. But then what we are trying to do as Futsal Namibia, we are trying to bring it to the nation as every top club out there should have a futsal club under them. So you should have your main team, then you have your girls team, then you have your futsal male team, futsal girls team, and then you have your youth level development, because futsal is being a development sports also. As you see the likes of Spain, Brazil, and all those, the reason why they're winning World Cups is because they come from futsal.
Exactly.
Yeah, and they more comfortable when they get into 11-a-side field, and they can demolish any team because the skill sets are there.
So what is it going to look like in terms of now, payment-wise? And will some players be able to make a living from futsal?
That's why we are sitting here. The people are watching, so if your wallet is open and you're a corporate out there, come on, bring it to us, Futsal Namibia. The kids will enjoy.
Yes, I mean, to all the corporate companies out there, please do support and come on board for our futsal team, as well as our futsal in general. So can you just tell us what are your future aspirations, you know, for you as a futsal player? Do you just see yourself as a futsal player going forward, or are you planning on transitioning between the two or juggling between the two?
I'll say I see myself on futsal only because number one, when I was a kid, I played futsal, and as I said, I fell in love with futsal. And also, since futsal was introduced now, so I also want to take futsal on some other level, especially in our country, you know, which we only have football 11 aside. So my goal is to put futsal at the top as a player.
So when you talk of goals, are you looking at now? Are you trying to put yourself out there, expose yourself, and get the contract in Europe, or you know, in other better leagues like Egypt?
They have the blueprint, eh?
Yeah,
of course.
Going to AFCON.
We're going to AFCON.
You never know.
So hopefully maybe from there, you can get a professional contract. Maybe.
Most definitely.
Yeah, I mean, just to... Okay, let me just ask you... I wouldn't say a serious question, but sort of like a casual one. Just tell us, what do you do during your free time, like with your bras? You know, what do you like to do? What do you do for fun? You know, is it PS? Is it going to the pool, or is it still working out? Because you find some futsal players or some athletes in general, they don't have a day off. For them, their free time is training, especially these ones with the elite mindset. So what is it for you? Like, what does your free day look like?
My free days, I'll say I take my free days. I actually play football because I work with my dad, and as we are both running the company, so I hardly have that free time. So when I get that free time, I always call my brothers, and we're always touching ball. And if we're not touching ball, we definitely playing PS, or we just go sit somewhere and have some, you know, drinks, not alcohol, or juice.
True. But in terms of PS, you know, how would you rate yourself? Because you know, you always find people saying, I'm a champion at FIFA, this and that. Everyone is a champion until you face one another, and then you end up thumping this guy like 5-0 or whatever. So
on PS, I'll give myself a solid 6, man.
Okay, but in camp, do you guys have like a PS?
We do have PS and Xbox both.
Okay, like for me personally, I'm good at Xbox. Not so good at FIFA. I mean, it's the same thing, you find people who are really good at Xbox, especially the owner. The owners.
You know what? It's different. The owner is like, something else, man. It's not that good.
Okay. Tell me, who do you think is the best in camp?
In camp, what I see the best, I'll say it's Kagiso.
Kagiso,
because he beat Afsa.
Oh, you also play?
Yeah.
So make it also vibes. That's cool.
Yeah, I'll say Kagiso is the best.
Okay, then I'll believe it's good because he beat me a good clean 3-0.
Yeah.
So you say you're good, but was it 3-0 first half, or because usually when it's 3-0
first half is
the forfeit. Yeah, you have to go.
But we played. It was a fight.
Well, that was on the Xbox.
That was on the Xbox.
He beat you with this team.
Yeah. But I play more PlayStation. I don't play Xbox, so the joystick handling is also a bit different. But I got chowed.
But I mean, you know, consoles are actually quite a good. It's actually something good just to relax the mind, you know, especially for team bonding now, you know. But just tell us, what does it look like in terms of now team bonding? Like, what do you think is the funniest? You know, and how do you guys gel together in terms of okay, tell me, who doesn't take jokes lightly? Because you only find those.
I want to know that though.
I'll say the person who doesn't take jokes lightly, I'll say is Reginald.
Reginald.
Reginald doesn't take jokes lightly. And the funniest, I will say the clown of the team. They are actually two.
Usually it's
I'll say three. I'll say the three. First one is Kagiso and Pochi and me. We're the clowns of the team.
Best dressed?
You can see.
As you guys can see here. As you guys can see.
I mean, I haven't seen the other guys drip, so I wouldn't know who's the fashionista.
The drip starts here.
And whose haircut is always on flick, like every day. Who takes the longest to get out of the shower?
The longest is
CJ,
And haircut is Eduardo Solunga.
Yeah, Eduardo.
Yeah, his haircut is always...
It's always on point.
Always
you think that
on point.
his barber is there every day?
Like always, but the person who takes longer in the shower is CJ. CJ, the captain.
He even sleeps with a cap.
He sleeps with those,
Is it the Durag or the shower cap?
No,
No, what
the
do you
females
call
use
them?
those.
What do females call them?
Yeah, I'm a Gueri, man.
Yeah.
But anyways, I would just like to say, guys, thank you for coming out today. You know, it was really an honor to have you both here. I would just like to say all the best for the African Cup of Nations. I hope you guys have injury-frees and all the best. You know, may the best men be selected at the end of the day. And hopefully you guys go do well and represent as well. And thank you for coming out today.
What's that?
Yeah. Well, guys, you heard that from Ken and Upside. And that is all from the Flex team. See you in the next episode.